Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I should have a Meijer haul for you guys tomorrow, but I finished going through all the coupons. Honestly, it doesn't look like there's that much going on. It doesn't look like there's that much going on really any stores entirely this week. Looks like a pretty sad week. Like even Tony's really doesn't have anything going on, and like Jewel too, from what I kind of previewed. But like even Meijer, there were only like a couple coupons actually for this week. So again, I don't have much that I need to kind of just finish up before tomorrow. As far as like just I need to type out the couple very few coupon deals that there actually are, and then just make the list for that. But like I said, I should have that in tomorrow's haul. It was that we weren't able to go today because, for one, my dad had they had a football scrimmage, which I actually think was the last practice before they officially start like football for the school year, which they do still start in the summer. It's like ahead of time, but this has just been summer camp that they've been doing, and then like the school year football like season, technically, like their practices I think start like maybe 2 weeks out from when school actually starts, at least. Sometimes it can be longer. I think there's like a set time, like either in the district or conference or whatever, where they're allowed to start. I think, I'm not entirely sure. But like I remember one year from Matthew, because there was construction for the school, they had like a longer summer that year, and I remember they actually played their official first game of the season, and none of the kids were actually in school that year because they had like they started so late, and so they had like one game already, but they hadn't actually been in school yet. So again, too, it depends, but I think that there is like an official time when the season starts as to like, and again, every school will possibly be different as well as to like when their school year actually starts, as far as like the school year. But the football season I think starts in accordance with like when their schedule is. So if their first game is like on such and such day, I think they can start practice like so many weeks ahead of time. At least I'm kind of thinking that's what it was, because like I said, I think that's like, I know for sure like that was one year with Matthew. It's not necessarily about when the school year starts, it's about like when the football like season starts. So anyways, they had their last practice today, but it was actually a scrimmage that they did, so my dad was gone a little bit longer. And the second reason was because, well actually there's three reasons. Other reason was Matthew ended up coming over after he had a dentist appointment. Then he stopped over for dinner, which I didn't even see him because I was locked in my room with all three dogs today, because thankfully we had the window upstairs replaced today, guys, and oh my goodness, they did such an amazing job. We actually have windowsills, which none of the windows upstairs ever did. The ones downstairs, I think all the downstairs windows had windowsills, like they put them in. And again, to these, I'm 99% sure that all of the windows in the house are original to the house, with the exception of the front bay window. It's not really a bay window, it's like a picture window, and the one other window in the living room. Those were all replaced. Like we replaced them a handful of years into moving into the house. I think it was like maybe about 5 or 6 years or something like that, because I think Jack was like really little, so we lived here for a little bit of time already. But we had those windows replaced. And then I want to say though that the back door might have not been original to the house, because I kind of want to say that maybe they only added that on later. Like maybe there was always this side door, but they never had like the back door, because that it seems a little bit newer than I feel like everything else kind of in the house. But again, too, I don't know, maybe not. But anyways, that is, we're getting those replaced, and then 4 of the other downstairs windows, and I think we're waiting a little bit, and then these 4 windows will be replaced. But we had our contractor who's doing the upstairs redo the windows upstairs, only because who we're having do the downstairs windows is actually somebody different. But because our contractor's just handling the upstairs stuff, we just figured we might as well have him do that now, because it's easier for him to do it while there's no none of the, like, you know, the insulation in, or the you know, drywall or anything like that. So it's not like, it's easier to just pop the windows in and do a lot of the work that needs to be done with it, so, you know, during, like, you know, well, we're in construction upstairs anyway, and then we'd have to like wait to have the guy we were doing the windows do the ones upstairs, or like the other way around too. We'd have to wait to have the other windows done if we were gonna have the contractor that did the windows today do the downstairs one, and we already had that like set up like before. I think we already had the, like, our contractor set up for upstairs. So like I said, we're using different people to get different stuff done, even though some of it's like the same thing, but that's just is how it's all working out right now. So and also too, because we did want a little bit more not customized stuff, but we're getting a garden window for the kitchen. Like, we just already had it all set up with the other, like, you know, our other, with the guy that he actually did the roof for us, which I don't think that our contractor does the roof, but then my dad was like, oh well, let's have him do the windows. And then when he was going to replace the windows, that was before we were, yeah, I think around the time we were going to be doing the upstairs project. But now we've gotten so far done with the upstairs that now we finally have the downstairs windows like finalized, and almost have a date as to when those will be in. So like I said, it's just like, and we're not going to be able to wait really until, and we can't, because I was also telling you guys too, there's some water damage that was underneath the window that was upstairs anyway, that was the one that he replaced, and so we couldn't move on with the upstairs project until that's done. And ordering the windows, like, because we're ordering them through a supplier, the person that's doing the downstairs windows, so we'd have to wait even longer. So it just made more sense to buy like a pre-hung window kind of thing, and then just do a pop-in kind of like installation, where he did have to make, I think, the opening a little bit smaller, by just adding like the 2x4s, because of the what's it called, the window size. It wasn't the same, it wasn't like a, like, I don't know, I don't want to say regular cut, but it was a little bit of a different size. So that's what you do if you have like smaller windows. If you're doing like the pre-store-bought ones, you can make them a little bit smaller. And again too, we don't have any problem with any of that, because we're redoing the upstairs as it is right now. So it's not like we have to be like, oh well, you know, like, we can't make the opening smaller or bigger, something like that, because it would involve doing like 2x4 stuff, and, you know, again, exterior things and stuff like that. But because there's no insulation, there's no drywall upstairs, like, all of that can just be done, and any resizing of the windows a little bit easier to do because of that. So it looks really nice from the outside, it looks really awesome from the inside. And like I was saying too, he actually added a windowsill, which I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cool, because we don't have windowsills upstairs. We never have had windowsills upstairs, and so to have that, I was like, that's so cool. So that might actually have been why, because the height of it was a little bit smaller, like I was saying, that might have been why he actually, just to fill it, he added the windowsill. So I'm not sure if that was why, but I thought it was super, super cool. And also too, we figured out that, again, I think I was telling you guys, most likely the person that we bought the house from, we think that he was some type of, like, he works in construction. So we know that he ended up doing some repair jobs to the house. The more and more we're finding out is that he basically just, you know, it was like slap some duct tape on it kind of thing, and, you know, like, ended up being like, yeah, it's fixed, oh yeah, this is done right, oh, you know, all that kind of stuff, and it was never done properly. Really, the contractor today was kind of, I don't want to say appalled, but like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you guys didn't have XYZ thing. Like, there was no waterproofing around the window upstairs, which is why the water damage happened. There was like so many problems with that window. It wasn't even sized right. He put it in from the inside instead of from the outside, which I guess is how you're supposed to put a window in. Stuff I didn't even know, but according to, like I said, the guy ended up putting the windows in today. Was just like, he was telling my dad the other day, like, I can't believe, like, there's all this stuff that, like, you know, he didn't do. So they actually put the insulation, like the foam, like, insulation too around the window to help provide extra, you know, heating and cooling. Like, none of that stuff. Like, it was just, like I said, this guy, one side too of the window wasn't even actually screwed down properly. Like, I don't think it was screwed down at all, actually. The one, like, I think it was the left side of the window wasn't even screwed down, like, into the studs. Like, it's pretty surprising that some of the house is still standing in the state that it is in, because it probably shouldn't be. And like I said, they kind of, I don't want to say, horrible job, but pretty bad job that we were left with in the house prior to it, you know, or when my parents bought the house. And so again, there was, you know, like I said, lots of problems that especially is coming to light a lot more, and more specifically with the upstairs, because that was what was added on. And I don't think the guy before us that lived here added it on. I think it was probably earlier than him, but I think that they did some type of renovation upstairs, and I honestly want to say it was probably because there was water damage from the roof upstairs, and so quick patch job was probably what happened, and or not even, possibly not even a patch job. I think what they did was just threw up new new drywall and some insulation potentially, and then pretty much called it a day and pretty much sold the house. And again, popped a new window in for whatever reason, but again, it was just like, yeah, it was a little crazy. So but anyway, like I said, there was a lot of stuff that we were learning about, especially more or less the upstairs than it was, you know, like the downstairs is pretty solid, but I think that they did a lot upstairs just trying to quick fix things, and the quick fixes were definitely not going to last very long at all. And so, like I said, that was a little troublesome, but we're getting it all fixed, guys, which was, like I said, really, really awesome. And the window was really nice. And again, too, the contractor I was installing, it was like, oh, these are pretty good windows too. Like, I think it's just the vinyl ones, but it was still like, you know, again, like a pretty decent window. They weren't like, the one that was up there was like really cheap. Like, this was like a nice like double what's it called, double hung like window and stuff like that. Like, so it's a lot better too for like also the like insulation and like the, you know, heating and cooling and all that kind of stuff upstairs. Like, it's surprising that the upstairs is actually kept as warm as it is and as cool as it is, or has been. But the fact that now we can fix a lot of the problems that we knew we were having, especially to like the insulation and the new windows upstairs, like, it's gonna add a lot more to like the heating and cooling difference in the summer and winter time. But earlier today, me and my mom ran errands. Then again, like I said, pretty much very, very shortly after that was when he ended up coming over and worked on that, which he was here for several hours today, but got it all done in one day pretty much. I think he said he ran out of caulk and is coming back to caulk it tomorrow. He got part of it done. Thankfully though, it rained today, but it's not supposed to rain, I think, for most of the week, so we don't really need to worry about any more water damage or anything like that. But he should be coming over tomorrow to do that. And then I was stuck though with the dogs, like I said, in my room all day today, so it was a very like, they're just so, they bark at everything. Like, when they're locked up and they know somebody else is in the house that like either shouldn't be in the house, or like they're just either, even to like my parents, like if they come in and out of the front door, like they either don't know if somebody that's supposed to be here, or like they're used to, or else they also get excited, so they just bark and bark, and like I have to just like constantly be like, no, you can't, like, stop barking. Like, and then Charlie too, he gets super nervous because I think he was just like, I don't know, anxious about either being in here with me, and it would have been 50 times worse had I not been in here. And then on top of that too, just like from, again too, there's loud noises going on upstairs, so he was just very, very nervous. So he just wanted to cuddle with me like all day, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I didn't get much done today as far as really anything else goes, because I was babysitting 3 dogs today that were very needy, and like I said too, me and my mom had to run errands earlier today because we knew that this was all going on this afternoon. So anyways, so guys, I'm super happy that it's done. I would show you guys, but they finished actually kind of late. Like, it was actually already dark outside. They were still working outside. My dad had to get them a light, like his work light from the his like work truck to actually use for them to see outside while they were working. And so they ended up finishing that up kind of late, so I couldn't even really get up there to like show you guys like a good video or picture of the, you know, the window or anything like that. But it's very nice. I'm super excited about it. Again too, the wood around the window is all replaced too, which is also really awesome, because again, like I was saying, that just, you know, like that was another problem because of the leak and everything like that was coming in from the window, and the water damage that was caused by it. Like it actually rained this morning, so I can imagine that there was more water that was coming in from it from the like thunderstorm that we had like early this morning, which actually woke me up this morning. And so I've been up kind of early, but I've been up like not consistently. Like I was up for a little while, then I kind of fell back asleep, then I woke back up and me and my mom left immediately to go to run our errands. Then I came back home and then I was eating like my lunch at that point, and then shortly after that was when they ended up coming over. So like I said, I didn't have too much time today really at all. But either way, I will share with you guys my Meijer haul tomorrow, which again I should have, and then also too I can maybe show you guys the pictures or video or something like that from the window upstairs and what it looks like, or possibly one day later in the week, because I might forget tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe just because I have no reason to be up there tomorrow. So like whereas like over the weekend we'll be working on stuff, so my dad can actually keep moving with the insulation too and get all that done now, because we're not waiting on the window to be put in. So he can move up until the next set of windows that we're going to get done, but we actually have to order those. So anyways though, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog, and obviously also update you guys on the upstairs projects too. But if you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all rest in shiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.